Good afternoon, one and all. As we know, the American US President's election 2016 has been one of the most powerfully charged one in the recent history. And now, as we approach November and the impending fate of the Americans, we have Mr. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton vying here for the title of the president. Who will win? It's in your hands. It is you who decide that. As being the one of the most powerful nations, this election is not just an internal affair of the people of America. The people around the globe is anxiously looking forward for the same. So think wisely and decide, because your thoughts turn into actions and it decides the fate of the people of America in particular and the whole world in general. In order to kickstart your thoughts, here we have the two personalities, the eminent personalities who came up as the frontrunners in this 2016 election for the President of the United States of America. An American businessman, author, politician, television personality, and the chairman of the Trump Organization, Mr. Donald John Trump is the nominee of the Republican Party for US President election 2016. Listen to him and see what his visions for you are. Please, sir.
Wow, whoa, there are some people here. So many, so nice. Thank you very much. It's great to be in Trump Tower. It's great to be the University of New York, and it's an honor to have everybody here. This is beyond anybody's expectations. There's been no crowd like this, I can tell. Some of the candidates, when they came in, they didn't know that the air conditioners were not working, and they sweated like dogs. They didn't know the room was too big because they had nobody else there. So how are they going to beat ISIS? I don't think it's going to happen. Our country is in great trouble. We don't have victories anymore. We used to have victories, we don't have them. When was the last time you saw us being China in a trade deal? They kill us. I beat China all the time. All the time. When we beat Japan at anything, they are sending millions and millions of cars. And what are we doing? When was the last time you saw a Chevrolet car in Tokyo? It doesn't exist, folks. They are beating us all the time. When we beat Mexico at the borders, they're laughing at us at our stupidity. And now they're beating us economically. They're not our friends, believe me, because they're killing us economically. The US has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems. Thank you. It's true and the finest. And Mexico are sending the people, not the right people, because not sending you, sending people who have problems, and they're bringing those problems with them. They're bringing crime, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing rapists, and I assume some might be a good one. But I speak to border guards. You know what they said? It just makes a common sense. It's a common sense, not even the right people. Terrorism is eating up large portions of the Middle East and are growing rich. You know, they built a hotel in Syria. If I have to build a hotel, I have to pay interest. But they don't pay interest because they've taken the oils which are left in Iraq. So now ISIS has the oil. And what they want to have? Iran has it. And I said, I love America. And I want the strongest military America ever had it. We spent $2 trillion in the war. $2 trillion. We lost thousands and thousands of lives. Thousands of lives in Iraq. And we had hundreds of wounded soldiers. They are great, and I love them. So at last, if you elect me as the president of the United States of America, I'll bring all the victories back. America will be great once again. Second, the security will be more stronger, so that the enemies and terrorism won't even dare to dream for us. Thank you.
That was triumphant, as we can see. And now we have the nominee of the Democratic Party of the US election 2016 presidential election nominee of the Democratic Party, Mrs. Hillary Clinton. She served as the senator. She was the first woman to get the office of the senator from New York. She served as a first lady during Bill Clinton's reign as the presidency, and she was also the Secretary of the States during Obama's presidency. And now she has again here to set a new record to be the first ever lady president of United States of America. Let's see, lend your ears and see what our visions for you are. Please, ma'am.
In over the past several months, I have listened to the problems that keep American families up at night. And most people don't accept life to be easy, but they want more security. A good paying job that let you afford middle class lifestyle. Healthcare you can count on. A little bit put away for your retirement. Being secure also means being safe. Safe at home, at school, at work. Today I want to talk about how we keep our country safe from the threat that's on everyone's minds, the threat of terrorism. But I want to begin by saying we cannot let it interfere. We can't let it stop us from doing what is right and necessary and doing it in a way that is consistent with our values. We cannot let fear push us into reckless actions that end up making us less safe. Americans are going to have to act with both courage and priority. Now, as we all know, on December 2nd, two shooters killed 14 people at a holiday party in San Bernardino, California. Sadly, in America, turning on the news and hearing about a mass explosion is not unusual. But this one turned out to be different because these killers were a husband and a wife inspired by ISIS. Americans have experienced terrorism before. On 9/11, we learned that terrorists in Afghanistan could strike our homeland. From Fort Hood to Chattanooga to the Boston Marathon, we saw people radicalized here carrying out deadly attacks. But Sanguinary felt different. Maybe it was timing coming so soon after the Paris attacks. Maybe it was how random it seemed. A terrorist attack in suburban Office Park and not in a highly profiled target of symbol of American power. It made us so fear that it could have been banged anywhere at any time. The phrase active shooter should not be one which we have to teach our children, but it is. Thank you.
And that was hilarious, as we can see. Now it's time for you guys. See, if you got any doubts to clear, you want any point to be cleared from the nominees here, you may raise your questions, please.
Yes.
Mr. Trump, you're always straightforward. Your open-mindedness always makes you trouble in US in particular and the whole world in general. As the world eagerly listens to the words of the US presidential election candidates, Mr. Trump, the whole world is looking forward your foreign policy. If you are elected as the President of the United States of America, how your foreign policy would be?
Gentlemen, as this term is very straightforward, America is one of the most prominent countries in the world, which is focused on regarding all the world affairs. If I am elected as the President of United States of America, my first mission would be to throw all those terrorism and illegal immigrants from my country. Second, I am a big fan of Israel, and I support Israeli-Palestine conflicts. My mission is to throw away ISIS from this world. So I would like to send 20,000 troops to ISIS-dominated areas. And in this mission, I would appeal all these countries to join me in my mission. Thank you.
Mrs. Clinton, nowadays UNO is losing our nation. Some countries are trying to develop nuclear weapons. Some countries are disturbed by terrorism. In this situation, what measure you would like to take to strengthen UNO's power?
UNO is the international highest organization, as it has a vital role for maintaining humanity and peace among nations. In fact, UNO cannot show any sort of partiality in solving the issues among nations. If I become the president, I shall be taking utmost care to pass real resolutions in the UN Security Council for international peace and security.
Mr. Trump, while campaigning election, it seems that you strongly criticize your opponent, Mrs. Hillary Clinton, the present President Barack Obama, and other Democratic leaders regarding their foreign policy and economic policy. If you become the president, will you have concern with your opponents regarding their foreign policy and economic policy?
At some extent. So my first policy is trade, but I have a different view in trade. Trade is not what is killing the jobs. So my answer is that to make trade work for us, not against us. So my message, My message to every American is that I will stop all those trade deals which are affecting their jobs and daily wages. Second, corporate taxes. I would not allow any money to go out of our country because it's the hard-earned monies of our pupils. So I would like to decrease the tax from 35%, 15%. Thank you.
Mrs. Clinton, in your campaign, you said many times that your mission is the eradication of terrorism from world. If you are elected as US President, will you keep your words?
Definitely yes. Terrorism should be wiped out from the world. I will have a strong stand against this evil, as it is a threat for the universal brotherhood. Not only America but other countries should also be vigilant about their attacks, because these attacks have a very bad impact on the economy of the victim countries.
Mrs. Clinton, how are you going to show yourself as a better president of USA than your predecessors?
To be the leader of a country is not a bed of roses. My aim is nothing but the development of my nation. My people are my real strength. The bureaucracy shall be in full power, that in swing to implement the plans for the government for the betterment of the people.
Mrs. Clinton, Mr. Trump said in his campaigns that he would stop migration of people to US. Do you agree with this opinion, or will there be any changes in your policy?
No, I don't agree with him. I focus in family unification so that migration as I open is good for our country. We can expand and grow our country's economy by attracting foreign people who has those caliber. They can build a business here and lead a collaboration with us. Each successive wave of migration has helped this country, I believe.
Mr. Trump, you know that India is one of the major democratic countries in the world, economic growing nation and peace-loving nation. What is your opinion on Indian policy if you would become the US president?
Yes, I know India is the second most populous country and largest democracy in the world. But India has to wait to become a member of UN Security Council. At this juncture, I can't support India. As Obama's administration support India to become a member of NSG, I can't support India because not signed the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons agreement. But I would like to make a cordial relationship with India. Thank you.
Mr. Trump, in your campaign, you said many times that you will stop migration to people of USA. If you are elected as US President, what is your opinion about that?
Wow. So yes, illegal immigrants is the one of the major problem Americans are facing today. So as I said in my speech that when Mexico are sending the people, not the right people. So I would like to make a substantial wall between Mexico and American border. And I would like to stop all this terrorism entering my country. Thank you.
Mrs. Clinton, India has been trying to become a member of the UN Security Council. India really deserves to become a member, as she is the second most populous country and the most democratic country in the world. If you become the president of the United States of America, would you support India to become a member of the UN Security Council?
Yeah, definitely. America has always been having a very good relationship with India. Being the world's most democracy and second most populous country in the world, she deserves a seat in the UN Security Council. If I become the president, I shall be supporting India, Brazil, Germany and Japan to achieve this goal.
Mr. Trump, terrorism is the greatest threat in almost all countries. America is not free from the threat of terrorism. It's been spreading like cancer. How you would tackle this burning problem?
Yes. As I pointed out a while ago that terrorism is a great threat to the whole world. It's increasing like cancer day by day. So if I become the president of United States of America, my first priority, throw terrorism from my country. The United States of America would not tolerate any kind of religious fundamentalism in my country. And we would isolate all those countries supporting this. And we would not give them any financial aids. Thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you. Now the ball is in your court. Think wise and decide. And let's see if we get a first ever president, a lady president for US, or we are going to get a eminent personality as the president for the US of United States of America. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and thank you, dignitaries.
Thank you.
Thank you all.